Hello, Pokemon players. It is a lovely Saturday afternoon / evening, whenever this video goes up. I'm Jim.
It's Friday for us.
Yeah, it's Friday for us. I'm joined, as always, by Mike.
Hey guys, we're here. Early this time.
It is a little early. This is the earliest we've recorded this, which is great, because all the battles got done by, Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, we've been really good about that actually as a league, guys. Good job. Nobody's been missing.
Yeah, for real. Awesome work. And we're here for Inside the PFL of Week 4. This was the most important week of the season. We said it last time.
It really was.
It really was. It really
So many
was.
things happened.
Lots of crazy things I can't wait to get in. And we're finally going to have a guest star on as well for the first time. You missed week 2, but week 4 we got one.
For the second time.
For the first time for you guys, second time for us. So we're already seasoned and, we're ready to rock and roll in it. Mike, tell us what we got here. Who do we got here?
We've got the lovely Murphy versus the very, very scary Kyle.
No, I look at Kyle's team and I hate it. I hate every single mon on that team.
I look at Kyle's team and I hate it. Just a defensive core of Blissey and Slowbro being pink and stupid. Yeah. The two of them.
Honestly, Gengar scares me the most out of all of these, but obviously he has the electric terrain core. Let's get into it actually, because there's a few things that this is the first battle of the week, and I thought that Kyle's obviously he's the wall of the league. He's the one that people just can't get past. But I thought, all things considered, that Murphy did a pretty good job of.
I agree.
Of trying to compete. I'm surprised the ×2 acrobatics killed Golurk.
I'm not.
I mean, Golurk's got a lot of HP.
This play.
Yeah, instead of going for the Shadow Sneak.
Murphy lost the game there. It's turn 6, and in my opinion, the game's over, because if you look at his team, he has no real answer for Blissey.
Yeah, and you see Blissey coming in and out and getting HP and wishing, and there's not much that Murphy can do. All he's doing is just body slamming, banking on paras, and praying.
He might have been able to get over it with crits from Scyther, but losing Gallade and Golurk that early as your two physical answers for Blissey, not good.
Definitely. Blissey just keeps coming in, keeps eating whatever special attacks, and gets down to the point.
Eating.
Yeah, that there's these 3 mons on Murphy's side of the field. It's 3v5, and it's an uphill battle. And you got sub, and you're losing your own HP. You got nothing to get around some of his threats. Blissey comes out once again. Nothing's happening.
Absolutely nothing. And it's fun because you actually watch Kyle just get a lot of really cheeky regenerator plays on Slowbro.
Yeah, no, he does a really good job of keeping Slowbro healthy. And I'm pretty sure Blissey has Wish as well.
I don't think we see it. It's this. So he hits Seismic Toss here, and then it's either this turn or the next one. He hits Teleport.
Yeah.
So he slows in for the natural cure and gets the regenerator.
Yeah, that's
and then right back into Blissey,
which is unbelievable. And you take 16% on Blissey, you're just eating it. Oh, you have soft boiled. You don't have Wish. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been 10 turns and nothing has happened.
Correct. And it sucks to say it, but from turn 6 to now, it's just watching him stall out with these two boys as everybody else dies.
It's funny because the only Murphy's saving grace is this Scyther. He has to set up 2 Swords Dances, and you see, I think he has Z Tailwind on this team instead of Heavy Duty Boots
there
or anything like that.
He said that he misclicked there and wanted to hit Z Tailwind there. I don't think the order of Tailwind operations is making too much of a difference here, but you could be wrong.
I also don't think it would have made that big of a difference, but if Scyther is your win con and you don't have any booties on and you got to set up to +4 without any sort of damage, you can't do it against this team.
No.
There's too much residual damage and too many threats that can just OHKO you.
Gallade could have definitely scared Blissey out.
Yeah.
Definitely after a Swords Dance, could have got the sweep off. It's just Kyle literally led Big Dick Energy. Let me just by like turn 3 have Halucha sitting here with a Swords Dance in the defense seed.
Yeah. No, he did.
And
I
I
mean,
mean-
he broke early. He broke the threats early, and then you see Murphy just kind of struggle to get back on his feet.
Yeah, Blissey is just the grossest of walls on this team. And all of us collectively as a league allowed it to happen.
This is totally true. Now, I wonder on that turn, like, 3, or whenever Gallade died, I wonder how much a Shadow Sneak would have done to Alolan Raichu.
Well, it was Pincurchin hitting Rising Voltage and just myrtleating it is
No,
what happened.
I'm pretty sure it was Raichu.
I'm really sure it wasn't. It was Pincurchin.
I'm gonna go back in the chat, and we're gonna figure it all out. Let's see. Skater Boy, Hawlucha dies, Alolan Raichu comes out. Yep.
Really? I thought it was... Okay, well, regardless. Yeah. I wonder what that Shadow Sneak would have done.
I don't think it would have
That's
killed
true.
from 100. Maybe it would have done like 70. You know.
But, like, you had Jolteon still alive. I would have just hearted into Jolteon as the answer to... I probably would have ran, like, AV Jolteon this week as
Definitely.
my answer to Raichu. Just cool. Hit me with Psychics that I have an Assault Vest for.
Yeah.
And let me absorb around.
See, I wonder what he might have clicked on Gallade there instead of going for any priority or switching out. Like maybe he tried to go for a sub. He could have went for a sub expecting maybe a nasty plot or something.
I'm thinking that or knockoff.
Yeah. But either way,
He could have expected the nasty plot, you're right.
a very dominant +4 from Kyle with the electric terrain and the fat egg-wielding blob.
Blissey.
Yeah, that thing's unbelievable.
Look at Kyle dropping Slowbro for Mega Slowbro for normal Slowbro.
And it working.
And it works.
And it worked. Alrighty, into the next battle, which is... Oh, Pokefan versus James.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So everything that I've said about Pokefan has so far been wrong, and I'm so sorry for the hate that I've given your team because no one can do anything about it.
Have you given him hate for his team? I thought his team's been like really sick.
When we first drafted it, there was a little bit of hate, and his first week 1 loss, I was like, well, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's pretty much just come back from them and said, yo, Mike, you're an idiot.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I mean, he
kudos.
started with 3 200s, and I believe he still has those. Is Victini a 200? Is
I thought
Victini 160?
No, he has 2 200s, 2 tier 1s, and I'm fairly sure the rest of his team is low tiers. But I mean, Scolipede and Glegor are great low tier mons.
Yeah, definitely.
Scolipede not even be that low tier.
I mean, he's on 100, I think, and he's like Swords Dance, Speed Boost. Like he's gonna kill you if you don't prep for him.
Yeah, he's 100. So I take back all the things that I've said about Pokefan.
So in this match, you know, I watched this one live on the broadcast, and it was very strange in my opinion. You know, it was James doing James things, but it didn't really click.
Yeah.
Like
there
the
was
Phantom
a lot
Force.
of me.
It's just
Yeah, a lot of me wondering what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I know he had substitute on maybe 3 out of 6 of his Pokemon.
And then the read there.
Yeah, with the flamethrower. I mean,
Oh, it's not a read. That's just a play.
I mean, yep. So Virizion goes for the sub there, and you know, I don't know what you're doing in against Victini. A Mega Horn's gonna do 30, like, and that's so weird to me. That double was the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Yep. There's also a lot of like, why Charizard and not like Pyroar there is the double? Like, I think Pyroar eats 1 Rock Slide and then just claps back and kills.
Wait, with who?
Not Pyroar,
Cinderace?
the Cinderace. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry. The other starter.
Yeah, the other fire type who looks like a normal type. Yeah, so you see here Scolipede's at +3. And he does it again. He's Pyro Ball, Gligar eats it. Like, he just has nothing around this big wall threat of Gligar.
Evolite, Gligar. Being
Like,
a problem.
Unless, like, Lunatone had Ice Beam, like, none of his Pokemon can do anything to that Gligar.
The Z bulk up was an interesting play too.
Yeah.
And then to do nothing with it, although I mean he called the play, it would have been EQ and then into Hydreigon's levitate, but still.
Yeah, and I don't know what I still don't know what James is trying to do here, like subbing up. He constantly does it, and you see him lose like all of his HP throughout the battle, mostly just due to himself.
Here, actually, I agree with the sub up. He ate the Draco because he was faster than Hydreigon. Hydreigon now has a special attack drop, and James can just safely sit behind the sub and heal up. It's now when I start getting confused because I get what he's doing, but I don't.
I mean, what is he? Oh, oh yeah, the ancient power. He's fishing for boosts. He really wants that to work. Like right there,
then,
instead of killing Victini,
for the kill. Yep.
Instead of going for ancient power again, you sub, you make it take longer, and you get psychicked, and now all of a sudden you can't make a sub, so you just got to keep roosting. You're rolling for special defense drops. You don't want to do it. And then after 4 turns, he decides to kill Victini.
Which Charizard is almost back to the same health it started.
Yeah. Good read there, going out to Diggersby. Although Zororo is just fast.
And it's gone. And it's gone.
Yeah, that's a very good Pokemon.
Yeah. It's causing a lot of issues right now.
Yeah, and I like the idea of changing Cinderace's type so that it can deal with, you know, the walls a little bit better. It can deal with Gligar a little bit better. It can deal with potentially Scolipede better. But you're a normal type. You're not getting much mileage out of it. I don't know.
Like, I don't know, like, he says no boosts at one point, and it's like a 10% chance. Like, if I'm running Ancient Power, I'm doing it on a Serene Grace Mon, because I'm going to be more surprised that I got the boost.
Did you ever run Ancient Power Togekiss? Is that...
No, Togekiss, generally, for me, I like Assault Vest kits. Or Scarf kits.
I was like, I'm trying to think of Mons that get Ancient Power, but also Serene Grace.
And I remember it was a lot of me, like, going, man, I want to run this, but at the same time, just, like, Air Slash Flinches.
Yeah.
Why anything else?
I mean, honestly, though, I respect the effort, because if Substitute Ancient Power Boost worked, then, like, the entire team is dead. Like,
toasted, yeah.
Like, that's it.
Maybe Gligar comes in, but even then, he doesn't want so many of them, those Fire Blasts.
Yeah, it's the +1 Fire Blast in the sun from Zard Y. Ugh.
Or maybe it was Flamethrower. I don't remember what fire move he had.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd always probably run Flamethrower, unless I needed the extra power for something.
And then the sub here.
Yeah, I mean, he could have predicted a Swords Dance, you know, but instead of just going for the
Pyro Ball.
Yeah, could have just clicked it, had a little bit more HP.
Not that it would have mattered, because this happens, but still.
Yeah, Zorora comes in, critical hit to finish it off.
Crit.
And 40 turns in. Pokefan gets, I would argue, a very convincing +3. It felt like James was constantly on the back foot there.
James has had a pretty disappointing season so far, I will not lie.
I'm surprised that that Bulu didn't come out, honestly. I feel like Bulu did pretty good against a lot of Pokefan's threats.
Except for Victini, I could agree with you. And Scolipede. Scolipede and Victini could have caused some issues, and as James said there, I was hoping Scolipede wouldn't lead.
Yeah, and then it did.
For good reason.
Definitely. But although there was only one layer of regular spikes at any point, imagine if there were toxic spikes, this game would have been totally different.
So much faster. Oh, yeah.
All right, but was that a Conference Cup? I don't believe it was.
I can tell you in a second.
Maybe it was.
I think it was, honestly. Well, damn it.
All I know is that a certain division pulled away with the Conference Cup this week.
It was not a Conference Cup.
Was the Heracross division the one who's like way ahead now, right?
I mean, we'll get there when we get there, but I wouldn't say way ahead.
Definitely. Alrighty, but a pretty convincing +3 from Pokefan into the next battle, which is myself versus Dylan.
Here we go.
And
this was a good game.
Yeah, we're gonna watch this from this angle. I like looking at myself on the other side of the screen, you know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what to say about this battle. All I know is that Amoonguss absolutely carries me.
Me and James both have had Amoonguss, and both of us hated it. Like, it just did nothing
Really?
for us.
It's
You are just a movie thing.
It has been my like shining star of the season, and I didn't even want it at first. It was like my sixth pick, and I was like, I said to Jack and Dylan, I was like, who should I pick? And Dylan was like, oh, pick a Moongus because it goes well with like Milotic, and I was like, all right, I guess. Like, it looks stupid, but it puts in unbelievable work for me this game and then every other game.
Yeah, and just you kept up momentum here.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna reveal any of my secrets because there's some hidden heat on this team, but Scizor was in fact choice scarfed.
I knew it was.
Yeah.
I did some math, and I was like, Scizor's not that fast.
No, he's definitely not. Although I think it was Mario who said Scizor at max speed is like 1 or 2 points faster than Tapu Koko at like the least speed possible.
Yeah.
So I think
like that's what
Dylan was running. I think he was running like no speed investment in Koko.
Well, no, I don't think Mario assumed that you were scarfed.
Oh, okay. No, I know. I'm saying I think Dylan also he didn't assume I was scarfed. So instead of him thinking that the U-turns were like big brain plays, I just knew I was scarfed and I was just kind of doing the thing. Like none of it was reading. It was just me being like, "Oh, I'm just faster. Like I'm just gonna do this."
The Ansi did get deleted by this Electros.
Yeah, and that low key sucked. What stunk too is that I burned the Electros, and I wanted to like poison it or like sleep it.
Yeah, we all saw that flash fire come. And we were like, "Wait a second, this is the bait."
Yeah,
we know what's happening.
I did have Inferno on that Chandelure.
Yeah,
I had it was Inferno Blunder Policy.
Oh boy.
And so I went for the Inferno, and then it hit, and I was like, oh. I was like, okay, that wasn't part of the plan.
Fire Blast Blunder Policy.
I had a 4th move slot, and so I was like, okay, I want a better chance to proc a +2 speed. So I went with the 50% chance move, and then I hit it, and I was like, that never happens. I missed all my stone edges at 80%, but the one time I want to move to not hit, it hits.
You're like, fuck this Arcanine, right out of here.
Yeah, the Z Earth or Z Ground did a lot of work to his team, minus Electros, and honestly, it did really decent damage to Quag too.
Oh, probably put you in 2-tap range, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, like, Amoonguss was my answer for Koko, and he was just able to constantly, like, you see here, he eats a Psychic.
And yeah, 2 Psychics in this game, actually.
Yeah.
It's the 2nd Psychic that he ate, and, like, that's insane.
Yeah, he's max special defense.
He's just thick.
Here I don't know what the hell I expected. I guess I expected a Volt Switch or something. And that Koko had to have been Scarf for Specs, because he left immediately.
Yeah, why are you leaving when you... I mean, he didn't want to get EQ'd either.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably could kill me with Dazzling Gleam, but...
That's true, too.
But basically, I think from here, it's just GG, because he has no way around this Amoonguss.
Nothing. It's over.
Yeah, I just go for Giga Drain a few times and do the thing.
It was a very good +5, though. Like, damn.
Yeah, and it was funny because at one point I think I sent in Mudsdale to die, and then he didn't die. And then I was like, okay, can I save this Mudsdale? And then I did. I was like, oh, okay, like I guess we're just gonna keep this mod alive.
It worked for you.
Yeah. Now that game definitely boiled down to just a couple mons. The Scarf Scizor and Amoonguss eating everything is pretty much all it took.
And for a +5, it wasn't one of those games where, like, you don't see some of the mons. Like, all your boys came in, did something, and...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was no setup. No setup at all. I had D-Dance on Salamence, I believe, but I just didn't have the opportunity.
Your whole team pulled its equal share, is what I'm trying to say.
For sure.
They all did something.
And one of them pulled his way into the top 5 of King of the Kill. And you'll never guess which one.
Oh, I know which one. Amazing.
Alrighty. Moving on to the next one. Mike, we have a special guest on this week.
We do. sir.
Would you like
We
to
have a
come out of
nice.
hiding?
We have a.
Sure, I'll come out of hiding. Hello, it is Drac.
Let's go. Let's go. We got Drac on the mic. We hope to be doing this, probably every week. We did it week 2 with Jack, but didn't end up happening. But this week, we got the man. We got the owner of the number one Pokemon, or one of the number one Pokemon, on top of the King of the Kill board. Hello.
Hi, yeah. I'm ready to talk about my match if
Sure.
you're ready to
Absolutely.
smash that play button.
I would love to hit the play with the music off.
With the music
we don't-
off.
So that we don't blow out our eardrums. So, Drag, tell me about
Right.
everything. Tell me about the building process. Tell me about
Right. So I knew his team had a ton of pivoting, and my strategy was basically just to spread around seeds and wish and sustain, and I had the parting shot on Incineroar, so I was just basically trying to keep healthy throughout that match. And I decided to lead with Terrakion because I basically thought that no matter what he led with, Terrakion would have a good matchup against, and that basically turned out to be true. Would get 2 close combats off and chunk some hard hitters of him.
Were you a
which
focus
turned out
sash?
Yes, it was Sash.
Okay.
As we see later in the match,
I love
Yeah,
it.
we do.
I lived the Z Hydro Pump or the Z Waterfall from Gyarados.
That's
We see a
my favorite
great
Terrakion
move.
set is Sash.
Yeah, it's pretty good. If it was like a Rotom lead, I probably would have just hit rocks because I had Stealth Rocks. But it turns out the match was gonna go like way faster than that. Oh god, the freeze.
Yeah, that's
forgot about
rough.
that.
There was
He
a
knew it was
lot.
coming.
There was a lot of freezes
Uh-huh.
this week. That was like 1 of 3, I think.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were 3 freezes. It was a pretty nuts week for RNG.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so here I brought in Incineroar. I felt pretty safe bringing Incineroar against Gyarados because he would think it's a free Dragon Dance. And then I clicked Z Parting Shot, not knowing if he was going to Waterfall me, just because I knew there would not be another chance for me to get a Z Parting Shot off that match.
Gotcha.
And
I was like,
I got
that was pretty
Terrakion
ballsy.
was the perfect target because he was sashed, no hazards, and I live the Hydro Vortex and get the revenge kill.
Wait a minute.
And it's gone.
He's 2 times speed though. How did you
I
outspeed?
lived. I lived
Oh,
with a
I
sash.
see. I see, because Z Parting Shot. It wasn't like a separate turn. Yeah, well,
Yeah, I love
Yep.
that play. He got his sash back.
definitely. Now, what would have happened if you
Mm-hmm.
missed the Stone Edge?
Bad things.
I mean, I would have just brought in Dragonite because Dragonite had Thunder Punch.
That's true. All right.
That's fair.
So
Yeah,
you had
it was a
fail
mixed
saves.
Dragonite. Yeah, it was a mixed Dragonite. It was like T-Punch, E-Speed, Draco, and Fire Blast.
Now, I like the little thing you did here. Correct me if I'm wrong. You brought in Sylveon to potentially take an overheat and thaw you
Yep.
out.
Yeah, it was kind of a fingers crossed kind of play, like, oh, maybe he'll read, wrong.
Yeah.
But whatever.
It almost worked.
Oh, and this was a big mistake from him, bringing in Rotom to whatever Eldegoss was going to put up. Like, it was not a defensive Rotom, so even like a Giga Drain might have done 11%. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly. And then, yeah, Aromatherapy. So Eldegoss was like full utility, right? Seed, Aromatherapy, Rapid Spin, and Giga Drain.
So I like this set from Hunter. I really like the Flame Charge Silvally, because that puts his speed tier above, I believe, all of your Pokemon if they aren't scarfed.
Correct, yep.
Probably above Inteleon as well.
Yep. I mean, Dragonite's still pretty comfortable living like multi-attack from Fairy Silvally. if
Yeah,
he didn't
especially
get a
at
Sword
full.
Stance up, so...
Yeah, and there's no hazards flying around this match either.
No, the match was just too quick to get hazards up. It was one of those kind of matches.
Yeah. Just sort of. Yeah, and then you see Eldegoss just. Who had Eldegoss last season who did this exact same thing?
Vic did this last season, but he did it with Cotton Down, I think, or what's the ability that gives you like 3x defense?
Oh, no,
yeah, I
that's
know what you're talking about.
Cotton Guard.
Cotton
is the
Guard.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Even if that head smash had hit, Banded was only going to do like 45, so it wasn't that big of a
Wow.
deal.
Only 45?
Well, I mean, I didn't calc it on the fly. I calculated it afterwards, but I was pretty confident I would live because it was
Okay.
like just full defense. And then I think I could have brought in Inteleon to get this kill to maintain my lead, but just figured whatever.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's only a problem if the Fire Blast doesn't kill. And then even then, you have Inteleon in the back to just snipe shot him and 100% crit him, probably.
It's 50% crit.
Yeah.
With the +1 from the move and then scope lens, it's 50%.
With scope lens is 50%.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, that is a pretty solid game. It felt like the momentum was always in your favor right from the first couple turns. Getting the 2 CCs off, killing Mega Absol just right off the bat was really, really clutch.
Yeah, you did a good job staying ahead of Hunter's team, like keeping momentum on a team that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those mons can pivot. Like you stayed ahead of him.
Oh god, they can.
Yep.
No, 4 of his mons can pivot. Sorry,
Yeah, 4
Gyarados
of them.
does not get it.
Oh, flip turn, right?
Yeah, flip turn on Basculin, parting shot, and U-turn for some reason on Sylvester.
He brought them both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it was
strange.
weird. And then he can volt switch on both Kabalion and like Rotom. Like that is a very. I want to say it for the memes. It's a pivotal team, man. It stays fast, and you stayed ahead of it, and that's how you win your game.
Yeah. You need a lot of answers, a lot of fail safes, and I think that marks a good team build is when you have like a lot of backups. You're like, okay, this didn't work. I have this to deal with this threat.
Well, you also hit what was in front of you. Like a lot of mistakes that people make when they face a lot of mons with pivot is they also keep switching, so they're not getting any damage on. Whereas, like at least if you're facing a pivot team and you're getting some damage off, it's not 100% the worst.
Right. I think a lot of what it was is that I just had like the chip and the sustain of LDS really kind of carried that match as you see got like 3 Leech Seed kills.
Hey man, good tanks win games.
Very true.
Yeah.
As we're in the call with the guy with both Amoongus and Milata. So.
Fat grass types win you games, which is
Fat grass types win
totally
games,
fun.
man.
Yeah, very solid. So, Drac, we've talked about your battle. Tell us about your future in the season. Tell us, if you can, of any plans you might have or any worries you have.
So, I know I face Kyle in the future, which is a little scary.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm fading both the currently undefeated people in back-to-back weeks, so that'll be fun.
Oh yeah,
As somebody
I've
who
got
had
some stuff up my sleeve
I
for you,
forgot
Jim, so
we
watch
fight.
out.
I forgot we fight. Oh man. Do you have a terrain setter versus Kyle? You don't. I don't.
I have
think.
Indeedee.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Well.
I might not need terrain. I've been thinking of like some changes to my team, and I could get a little wild with it. I won't spoil what that is.
How many
No,
trades
definitely
pickups do
don't,
you
Because
have?
I haven't locked in any choices yet, obviously. I've got all of my pickups and
All of
40
them.
points.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah, Drake's sitting very comfortable right now. As I've said in pretty much every time I've talked about him, the dude knows how to team build.
This is true. This is absolutely true. Some people have used all of their trades and pickups, and sitting at, all of them, all 5 of them, midway through the season is a really, really good position.
I didn't think somebody used all of them. I thought we're down to 1.
Bick used all of them
Bick
this
used
week.
all of them. Bick used his last
Oh,
couple.
Yep, he traded the Z Captain and dropped
Uh,
Steel for Skarmory.
Yep.
but we will get there later.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to tell the people of PFL land?
There was something, but I forget now.
Nice.
Are you going to win this season?
I mean, that's the plan. That's always the plan.
All right, Drac, you sit 2-2 in a division with Jim. How do you feel about making it to playoffs looking at somebody who's 4-0?
I mean, I don't really think the record is that, like, intimidating, because at the end of the day, it still comes down to, like, one match.
Yep.
That's going to determine whether or not it's he gets 5-0 or I go 3-2, whichever
like
way
how
the
you
dominoes
look at
happen to
that.
fall.
And
I
is
dig that answer.
is Dylan also 2-2? I don't have the...
Yeah,
Well,
we have the same
yes.
record.
Okay. And do you have a higher plus, or does he have the higher plus?
We
Oh,
have
they're
the same.
tied.
The
Oh, they are
same.
straight tied.
Wow,
Oh yeah,
okay.
Hunter's lagging behind at 1-3. But again, we'll get to the standings later.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting division y'all got going over there in
You are-
green.
yeah.
and Mega.
I've been told by some people that they think that our division is the hardest division overall. But I think that's also arguable because there is a division with Manny and the De Silva brothers.
The De Silva brothers. I don't want to have to fight them twice, let alone once.
They're like the Mario brothers, but really good at Pokemon.
Oh boy.
Alrighty.
All right though. We appreciate you coming on, Drac.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on.
And into the next battle. And we're back. Special thank you to Drac for joining us on this week of Inside the PFL.
Yes, it was very nice to have him here. We appreciate all of you when you decide to do this. Thank you very much.
We'll be on the lookout for future guest stars as well. So if you're interested, please message us.
I'll be sending messages out. Send me messages. One of us.
Heck yeah.
We'd love to have you.
In the meantime, though, Mike, we have what is my most anticipated thing to comment on this entire episode. It is Jack versus Rob.
Oh boy, Rob. I never thought that Rob would be the center of a should we ban this.
This is probably gonna go down in history as my favorite PFL match of all time, because the sheer amount of RNG is just it's so pure.
Rob killed 16 goats over the course of the time that he wasn't allowed to play and sacrificed them to RNGesus himself.
Absolutely. And you see it pay off. I'm just going to get right into it. Wait, if you haven't seen this battle yet, and for some reason you're watching this inside the PFL and not the broadcast, it is going to be a great time for you.
Oh, yeah. But they don't get to listen to Joe's bang bang!
Oh, true. So it's funny, too, because, like, even that, the Thunder Punch didn't kill Aerodactyl by 1%. Like, even 1%. That's an element of RNG, because that definitely would have killed. Like, that's not a roll. I mean, it is roll, but it was a min roll.
He doesn't get the burn, though.
Yeah.
He gets the Hurricane, and it's gone.
Yep, gets the Hurricane. It's gone. Superior's gone, and Jack's at a -1. And even though Jack
already is not having a good time.
And I don't even get it, because Jack revealed Thunder Punch, and he stayed in with Mantine instead of going into Gliscor or Electivire.
That was an interesting sword stance there. I don't know if I quite agree with it.
Yeah,
but
and Jack has all 3 punches on his team.
It's turn 8, and 5 Mons are dead.
Yeah, this is just...
It's a fast game.
High energy, balls to the wall, acid downpour doing 26% to this Slowbro. And
Slowbro's just sitting here. Durr.
And this is where... Oh, no. That's not where it starts.
Oh, no, we wait. Rob makes the ballsy play of going into Conflable looking at Muck.
Yeah, and you take the knockoff. This double is not in Jack's favor at all.
What is happening? Bobby is in next level worlds right now.
Yeah, and then this happens. He gets
Wins the game.
freeze. Quick Draw pops immediately after. So that's a 10% to a 30% to 2 frozen solids, which is whatever other RNG, and then Quick Draw pops again.
That freeze, I think, actually won him the game more than the Quick Draw, because if he was able to just kill Slowbro there with Muck,
and then Quick Draw pops again. He OHKOs.
No, lives with 5%, and then he kills
lives the bullet punch, kills the flamethrower, and then it pops for the final time. And I'm just gonna count. I'm going to count how many times Slowbro was out and how many times Quick Draw popped.
Gonna be like the Krillin-owned count.
Because what was this thing called? It was just called Slowbro. Okay, great.
Oh yeah, Bobby didn't name it.
Alright, so...
It's, Ooh Baby the Muck. That's who he freezes.
Oh, the Muck. Quick Draw popped once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. In a row, I think.
Oh, almost.
Almost in a row.
We have Silver living with 5%. We have all the quick draws, and we have the freeze, which was really what won Bobby the game, because I don't think Bobby could have dealt with Muck at least that easily, being down 3 Mons.
100%.
And just the freeze, just Bobby RNG'd the win, as Bobby does.
Like, we can make a big deal of quick draw, but you're right. The freeze is really what turned that game around. And even still, though, even after Alolan Muck died, like, you're in with Crobat, and you can hit, like, a Brave Bird or something to kill this Slowbro. Something. Yeah. And then Quick Draw pops and OHKOs him. And you're like, oh. Yeah. And then Bullet Punch doesn't kill, and then Flamethrower pops and it OHKOs.
And it's gone.
And it was just... Watching this live was unbelievable.
Amazing. Yeah, it was... There was a lot of air horns going off all the time.
And this thing, you know... It's not a great Pokemon. It's okay, definitely.
This is Bobby's best season in years. He is at a nice 2-2.
And that is really all you can ask for, because a lot of really, really good battlers this season are at 2-2.
Or 0-4.
Or 0-4 as well. Who's 0-4? Do we have anybody who's 0-4?
Besides Mitch, and he's not a great battler. Dan.
Dan's 0-4.
Dan's
Wow.
0-4. Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. But I guess this will just bring up the topic. Do you think that quick draw as an ability should be banned from play?
Really?
Do you think? No, not I. I'm asking.
Oh no. No.
Okay,
It's one Pokemon, it's solvable. If you gotta prep for it. If it was like Quick Claw, if it was Quick Claw, Quick Draw, I'd throw up. If he was allowed to do that, that'd just be rude.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's just one Pokemon, we know it's there. It's like everything else, man. You gotta prep for that one guy.
I agree. I think it was Lebo who made a really good point that, like, yeah, it's an ability and it sort of forces like some unfun situations, but the same thing goes for like Serene Grace. You know, you're sitting against a Togekiss, you get a 60% flinch chance. Like, you don't get to play the game. If you're
as
sitting
somebody
against,
who's had that happen to them a few times, I don't think we should ban Togekiss over that.
yeah, and you're sitting against Galarian Slowbro, and it's only a 30% chance for him to potentially just move first. That's not, you know.
And
I don't think it's ban worthy
stats
either.
are like crazy where he's fine where he's at.
And I wish I could say that was a good game. I mean, it was a good game. It was the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. But that was that was
great.
sloppy mons. That was sloppy Pokemon.
Yeah, it was. That was a lot of luck.
But it is what it is. It is the game we play.
Oh yeah.
And it can sometimes be the most frustrating thing in the world. But Rob pulling out his second win of the season against Jack, who is a previous champion. And yeah, it was just unbelievable. It was so funny.
Just what a win.
Alrighty, it's time to move on, even though I don't want to.
Moving right along.
I could talk about Galarian Slowbro forever.
So good.
All right, moving right along to Tristan versus Dave. Now, I remember this battle.
This is actually one of the ones that I did not rewatch.
Yeah, I didn't rewatch it, but I remember watching it for the first time, and certain things happen in this battle that you're like, oh, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? But I think it might just be not knowing what a certain penguin does. So let's just get into it.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I remember.
Yeah. The turn one switcheroo.
That he's used every time.
Yeah, really bones Tristan right off the bat.
And it's gone.
And Whimsicott dies to a Protean Ice Beam. And Regigigas comes in.
And it's gone.
And Toxic doesn't do anything to Galarian Weezing. And Willow comes through. So off the bat, Dave is
not looking good.
Doing really good. He's doing great for himself.
Yeah.
And you gotta wonder, how does Tristan turn this around? And it's through the means of a penguin.
It's a little ice cube penguin that Dave just did not know what he did. And you know what? It happens. Sometimes you don't know.
Absolutely.
5%.
There's a lot of gimmicky mons in this battle. You got Mega Bayonet, you got Ice Cube, you got Regigigas.
Ugh, Mega Bayonet.
That's a good little play right there, absorbing the second Willow.
Yeah.
And it reads the it kills anyway. Okay.
Yeah, doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It's at 50%, it's 4x.
Yeah. And Hoopa's base special is like 160 or something.
Then the U-turn just gets rid of it.
Yep.
Now I'm interested to see why Dave doesn't do Mega Banette plays like he should. I'm curious, is he just really mad at us for saying that Mega Banette's dumb and he wants to prove that it can do more than Destiny Bond?
I think that's really all it can do. I've had Mega Banette before in another league, and all it does is Destiny Bond and Sucker Punch.
Yeah, it gets you a nice 1-for-1, maybe the Sucker Punch or the Shadow Claw where you can get
and right here too, instead of going for Destiny Bond, like you said, he goes for Taunt, and which sort of doesn't make any sense, and he doesn't understand what Ice Cube does, so Mach Punch just eliminates Ice Face, makes him faster. So
now he's going fast.
Now he's outspeeding Greninja.
Except he left anyway.
And he left, but he's still faster than Greninja. That's the thing.
When he comes back, yeah.
When he comes back in. And the momentum just turned completely around because Ice Q just wasn't dealt with in the way that he should have. Instead of going into Hitmontop, I think Joe was saying even, you know, or you could either Destiny Bomb with Bayonet, or you can go into Greninja and you can Dark Pulse, because the special moves go through Ice Face, I believe.
Or he could have Shadow Snuck or something with Banette to break the Ice Face, and then Mach Punch with Hitmontop. Like
Yep.
there were outs that he had.
There was a lot of you're right. There were a lot of outs, but you know, not knowing what a Mon does, a single Pokemon like can completely turn the game around.
Changed the whole game. Yep.
And you know, at this point, Dave's just on a timer. Toxic's ticking away. Even if you have Roost, it doesn't matter at all. Although he does get down one more Pokemon.
How is Grass not a contact move, but Volt Switch isn't?
That's a really good question.
The fuck, Game Freak?
Because the Pokemon Company and Game Freak don't know what they're doing. They really don't. But that's a whole.
But I mean,
that's a whole other topic.
Tristan snags the +3 because of
Definitely.
that derpy ass penguin right
I
there.
love that penguin. I love that
It's
thing.
Cholsey.
It's not worth 100 points, but when it works, it works.
Yes, sir.
And you know, I'd love to see it used more in the future.
To do just what it did.
Yeah.
That's its play right
Basically.
there.
I don't know if it gets Ice Shard. It might not even get priority.
I don't know if it does either. I don't know its
I
moves.
don't know. It's too new. It's new toy syndrome, you know.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Into the next one, Mike.
Oh,
This
it's time?
It is time.
Oh boy.
It is time.
Dude, I've never gotten hate mail over a video game from like a friend, but Mitch was straight up in my DMs telling me to go fuck myself over this game.
Oh my god.
He was so salty.
This had me dying.
I mean, he asked me for an extension, and I told him no because I had other things to do. I was like, listen, we need to get the game done now, and I told him to make his team. It's not my fault that he waited until the last second to make his team.
You plan the battle for when it is. If you can't do it later, you can't do it later. Like, I sort of agree, you know? If it was established
he just did not. Yeah.
earlier, but still, I don't think I would not have expected that Registeel set either. And this is a long ass battle, so I'm gonna hit play because we could talk about it forever.
I love all of this battle. First of all, just Mitch taking more damage here than he did to me.
It's ugly.
Just gross.
The glare.
That's just so slow. Here we go. It's
love
Regitime.
It's not Miltank, but
From
it's gonna
turn
do
3.
the same thing.
I ran this kit specifically because it was Mitch, and I knew he wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, and
That was
2 EQs, a rest, you're back up to full. Now what does he do here? Yeah, he just keeps going for it.
Yep, and now I just Iron Defense up.
Oh god.
I want you to know that I had 648 defense because I was not defense invested. I was special defense.
You weren't defense invested?
No, when I ran Iron Defense, I was like, well, I'm going to run some special defense EVs so that I can, like, live a move if I need to.
Registeel is so fat.
His defenses are 150 split,
Yeah.
if I recall.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And then he can't do anything.
No,
When does he
with me
blink?
getting terrible rolls. Just terrible sleep talk rolls.
Yep. I mean, at that point, you know, you're like, oh, I'll hit him from the special side. It'll be fine. And yeah, and you're getting iron
shit
defenses.
my pants right now. I went, uh-oh. Did Mitch just win this game?
Yeah.
Is he going to reverse sweep me?
What do you do? Seismic toss?
I was
Now-
like, I got nothing. I better just start doing damage.
And then he's
he
physical.
has physical.
Oh, I totally forgot he had a physical Blastoise.
Because, like, doesn't Blastoise get Aura Sphere?
Yes.
Like, I wanted none of that.
Yeah, he does. God. I know. I think as soon as I saw Waterfall, I think I stopped watching for like a minute or something like that. I was like, oh no. Because I got excited. I was like, okay, he can break past this Registeel. Like, the rest of the game can continue. It's 18 turns in, and the first Pokemon just died.
This Darmanitan scared me too because I was like, oh shit, if I get bad rolls here, like, he's gonna be able to break over me right now.
And he doesn't. Although he
No,
got a really good roll at first, and then a not great one there.
Exactly.
But yeah, he has to keep Flare Blitzing because what is he gonna do?
He's got nothing. We find out later on. I guess Bick looked it up, and Nihilego doesn't get Focus Blast, so he had literally nothing to get around Registeel.
Nihilego doesn't get Focus Blast.
Right?
Huh.
He was so mad too because I switched out here. He was like, "Oh, you really wanted that? Like, really want the +6?" I was like, "Yes, I really want the +6."
Of course I do. That's the whole point. Although, you know, even if it cracks me up too, is because he intentionally ran down the timer to like sort of fake that he was just gonna give up.
Yeah.
But then he didn't. But then
And
all of a sudden,
himself.
now he has way less time to make the decisions he needed to make to potentially bring this game back. So
he didn't know what to do.
The salt.
He also did
think,
not
got
know
the
I was
better.
scarfed.
Oh yeah,
That was the scarf chicken.
that'll do it. And Flare Blitz, yeah, that's still gonna do 30%, even resisted.
I just wanted a sack there because
And-
nothing really wanted to take that.
Yep.
And I knew he wasn't
Speeds.
scarfed. I learned earlier in the match from something that Lando was his scarf, so I was like, okay, cool, it's over now.
Yeah, he just kept hitting EQ, didn't hit any U-turns.
That was a troll play. I could have saved my plus there and gone back into Dragetian for him to kill himself off the Rough Skin Rocky helmet, but I wanted the Z Memento back into Registeel and make it go about 10 more turns.
And just to keep piling on the pain.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you know what's funny too is that battle was only 34 turns, and it felt like an eternity. Like it was shorter than I think most of the battles this week, but 20 turns of it was just Registeel sleeping.
I don't think he was trying to Philly fake out me like with the timer. I think he was legitimately upset and just didn't know what to do because he knew that he screwed up and did not bring any special threats for Registeel.
Yeah, and you know, you look at your team or not your team, you look at Mitch's team, and Darmanitan's physical, Lando's physical, Golisopod's physical, even Nihilego's special, but you can't touch Registeel, and then Regis is special, but you can't touch Registeel. So you got to bring a special Blastoise, but you know, I like the idea.
It's not stab.
I like the idea, but it doesn't help versus your team.
Yeah, Mitch. I remember like Scrafty was my only real problem on Registeel.
Drain Punch, yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't even bring it, and Iron Defense would have just won that match eventually anyway, unless he had the Dragon Dance kit. In which case, I would have started leaving.
Then my question becomes: does a critical hit bypass the?
Yes. If he crit me, it was over.
Yes, and he didn't get a crit. He probably hit Registeel with like, I don't know, 8-10 moves. Not
Yeah,
a
but you
single
shouldn't
one.
rely on getting a crit
No, of
unless
course
you're
not.
running the crit kits.
But if you're desperate, like Mitch was at the beginning of this game, you know, sometimes you got to roll for the crits, and if they don't happen,
He did.
then they just don't happen, and Registeel just sleeps on you and keeps tossing you. Yes, I don't know.
Oh my god, I sent it to Joe before the match. I was like, so do you hate this set? He wanted me to run Iron Head, but I did not want to do that for good reason.
No, I definitely liked it. And does Mitch even have a ghost type?
I don't know.
I was like, because that wouldn't work if Mitch has a ghost type.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Alrighty, well, either as memey as it was still a +4 in your favor.
Yeah, and I needed that too after getting the +0 over Dave.
Yeah.
I needed that floor.
That definitely boosted you a little bit.
Yeah,
And
it helped out.
Registeel probably got... How many kills? Does it even count? If Darmanitan kills itself from recoil, is that a Registeel kill? Bick, let
I
us
think
know.
I killed it. I think I hit Seismic Toss and killed it.
When is it 3%?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I got the lucky roll.
Well, either way, Bick, let us know if a Mon kills itself from recoil and doesn't kill another Mon. Does that count for anything? Probably not, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Alrighty. Into the next battle, which
Moving right along.
I don't have pulled up yet. And now we are. We are back with Sheriff Mario, the Sheriff Director of Entertainment himself, versus Manny Cham,
The League bromance.
the League bromance. Anything you want to say about this match before we dive into it? Because there's a lot of...
Mario was apparently hammered and having a conversation with another person at a bar while he did this match, and that is his quote-unquote excuse for why he lost. Which
as
is
I
a
was
pretty
watching
good
it,
one.
As I was watching it, I couldn't tell. Frankly.
Yikes.
Frankly, I couldn't tell.
Oh, and also the two of them had a agreement between them, a gentleman's agreement, that neither of their mons that could run guts were allowed to run guts.
Oh, so Conkeldurr and Obstagoon both couldn't run guts?
Yes, it was Reckless Obstagoon and Iron Fist Conkeldurr.
Does Sock get guts? It gets sturdy and it gets maybe Mold Breaker?
Yes, Mold Breaker.
But it throws the one who gets guts, I believe.
Probably for them circle throw plays.
Okay. I only saw the beginning of this game, but I'm willing to talk about it a little bit. As we get ready
I watched
here.
it.
I love tracing the
remember.
shear force. I think that's just giant brain.
Manny has had some great trace plays this season.
Yeah, he really has. What did he trace? He traced something a couple weeks ago that was just...
Oh, he's been
ridiculous.
tracing Regenerator weekly. He does it again
yeah.
later in this match.
Yeah, and that's crazy. This matchup here, I don't understand. Maybe this is like Mario being drunk and staying in and trying to hit Ice Punch and then forgetting Latias is like base 110 speed or something like that.
Also, Mario's idea of solving a dragon with a dragon is hilarious to me.
By Toxic.
Then he hits Toxic. And then he hits Toxic.
I
Like,
know.
if he hit Draco there, bad things were about to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
And, like, I can't even say, why did he do this and why did he do this, because the answer was he was drunk.
Yeah, and you know what I can't believe, though? Is that a knockoff from Obstagoon still only did, like, 55% to that Latias. I mean, I get it, you're not
Right.
guts boosted, but that's 110, super effective stab. Like, that Latias is really, really large.
Could we talk about how amazing Crustle Shiny Sprite is? Like, I know he's not in now, but he just was. He has one of my favorite shiny
The
sprites.
light green.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's really cool looking. I think Crustle's a really good designed Mon. A lot of Gen 5 Mons, they're hit or miss, but most of them are pretty solid.
And
But
here he traces the Regenerator.
yeah, there it is. Okay, but he gets Toxic for it, so that's
Yeah, but
actually a
then he leaves.
decent trade though.
And teleport.
A Hyper Voice is, no, not Hyper Voice. A Moonblast probably kills. Ice Beam definitely kills. Ooh,
Oh, yeah. And it's gone.
Primarina.
He knew that it wasn't. He knew it wasn't assault vested because he saw the leftovers.
Yep. Oh, it has Reckless. I hate that.
I said that. Yeah.
I didn't know what other ability that thing got.
Oh yeah.
God, I hate
I
that.
didn't
so
either,
much.
but
I mean, Conkeldurr at least has like Iron Fist and Sheer Force. Like it's got two other good abilities. Reckless.
and it's funny too that Manus was afraid of the Guts Obstacoon because Guts Conkeldurr wins that fight every day
Yeah.
of the week.
Guts Conkeldurr just mock punches and
Yeah.
it just
it's
sneezes
gone.
on Obstagoon and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this whole game, Manny gets put back in. Close combat
Mario
doesn't even kill.
told me of this play. It was one of the berries was on Sock. I can't remember which one.
Like a Salic Berry.
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe, live a sturdy and oh man, Thunderfang killing right there. That sort of surprises me. It has strong jaw, I get it, but I mean Wild Charge is still stronger, I think.
And then just Crustle coming in to finish.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do? You're gonna double edge, hopefully kill the Crustle, hope it's special defense invested, and when it's not, the green crab just walks right over you.
Manus is officially out of winless territory. He now moves on to have one win and a +3, and in the Conference Cup nonetheless. It was a good week for him to bust out his one win of
Yeah,
the season.
and we said it last time too. We said, yeah, Manny's not gonna lose this week. We were just like, it's just probably not gonna happen, and There it is.
Oh yeah, I said that Mario would concede to Manny all the time, so that's why he got drunk, so that Manny could win.
And that's why he ran Reckless Obstagoon. Although if
No,
it
that was a
worked,
gentleman's agreement. That I could understand.
that's true. But I don't know. Conkeldurr's abilities are much better than Obstagoon's. Like at that point, just don't bring Obstagoon.
Yeah,
Bring
I
something
agree.
else. Don't bring Volcanion, but bring something else.
Bring Volcanion all the time.
All right. So next battle. Oh man. Oh, I did watch this one. Okay, I definitely did watch this one.
Oh yeah, this is Revenge of the Primeape.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This
battle,
Primeape.
this
I
battle
don't
was
even remember.
crazy.
I don't know if Dan wins or not. No, he doesn't.
No, he
'cause he's
doesn't.
Still
Lebo
0-4,
wins.
but I just know Primeape just kills everything.
Yeah, this is a really, really close game too. I would love to. All
Yeah.
right, let's play it and let's talk some things. Excadrill out here, setting up right in Shuckle's face. And
Shuckle does the work this game.
does he?
The work. Yeah, because some weird shit happens. Like, CSHL is what, Lebo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lebo deciding to not try to kill it. Right about...
Does he rapid spin?
No, okay, he leaves. That's what happens, okay.
Shuckle leaves. EQs the
I think-
Clang and Scarf Primeape. I gotta believe.
And it's gone.
Oh.
Bye, Odino. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. And he didn't even get a chance to Mega, so he had no shot of living that.
Yep.
Defiant.
Defiant. Defiant goes off so much in this game.
Oh my god. Lebo goes, oop, LMFAO. Like he forgot Defiant happened. And
Yep.
and yeah, sticky webs are up, and you can't do anything
And-
about it. So every time Primeape comes in, he's -1 speed,
Yeah.
but he's +1 attack, and he's scarfed, so he's still like base 95 or something like that.
Just free rapid spin. Oh, but he doesn't do it. That's right. I don't think
Yeah.
either of them get rid of the webs.
They're both just super slow out here. And honestly, like that probably hurts only Lebo in this situation because Feeney's not trying to outspeed anything. Trevenant's probably not trying to outspeed anything. Primeape gets
Yeah.
a boost.
Mike, I think this is a play I was surprised where he didn't just hit defog.
On
Like,
Feeney or
I
on
mean,
Masquerain?
Feeney. Just, I mean, I get it. You don't want to get rid of the webs that you put down, but like,
Yeah.
Double
what does
web.
Excadrill get? Was that
Oh.
hook shot?
yeah, probably.
Does this thing get?
Actually, never mind. If everybody has webs and nobody has webs, so I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's even except for the fact that you have a +1 Primeape to deal with, and now all of a sudden this 40-pointer
That's
is
true.
putting his fist up your butt.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Dracovish
by doing
is
this.
faster.
Yes.
In the sand.
Yeah, Dracovish is a problem.
I love Choice Band Sand Rush Dracovish because it compensates for the loss of Strong Jaw and it's double the speed. So
Yeah, and now you have those Vicious Runs just going. Z taunt.
yeah,
Excuse me?
yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And then just oof.
And Poltergeist, oh,
Bye.
he does die. For some reason, I thought Rosary clutches the game out. That might have been last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
Okay. Vicious
'Cause
Ren comes in.
it was his only mon not named, and then he didn't name any of his boys this week.
Oh yeah. I like Gwen Stacy. I like that nickname.
Yeah, because it does look like Spider
does.
Gwen.
Yeah, it does. Fisher, yeah.
All of Dan's games have been really close. Like he might be 0-4, but like he's not going down without a fight in most of these games.
Definitely. And sometimes that just happens, you know? Like
Yep. It just doesn't roll in your favor.
That game felt like it could have gone either way, probably the entire time. It's just he never like the sandstorm was still up. I assume Gigalith was Smooth Rock, I think. So it stayed up
Oh, yeah.
too long and Dracovish just got to be able to come in and do the thing.
Right.
Although to be
It was
fair
just-
too, on Dan's team, nothing wants a Fishious Rend. Trevenant doesn't even want a Fishious Rend. Like
Nor does Feeney.
no, they don't. I mean, unless you burn him, but in that case, like, you gotta have a water absorber. You gotta have a water
You really
absorber
do.
or like Tangrowth.
But I'm pretty sure this was a Conference Cup game, and I mean, I drafted a Water Absorber to counter it, Dracovish, but that's just because I had to face it twice. Like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
And that makes sense. But a pretty modest +2 from Lebo. Webs were flying.
Oh, it wasn't a Conference Cup game. You better get yourself a Water Absorber if you plan to beat him again, Dan.
Yeah. and you probably have a lot of trades and pickups still left, so
Yeah.
you might want to think about that. And please,
Yeah.
please take Lebo down a peg because I definitely don't need to face a Dracovish in playoffs. Please.
Yeah.
Not
I
again.
didn't draft accordingly.
Yeah, yeah. He goes
I'm
once
not
again,
ready.
and you see Dan in the chat. He goes once again. I had some fun tricks on Kling Clan and never got to use them, or never got to show them. So we'll never get to see him.
One day we will.
One day.
Today is not that day.
No, it's not. Into the next battle, which is Thomas versus Bick.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
RNG again. RNG take the wheel.
Is this RNG?
Oh yeah, Bick loses. Well,
Yeah.
we'll watch.
Oh,
but Bick loses.
yes, I actually did watch this battle. I totally forgot about that. But
RNG take the wheel.
and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But Bick, this week he did get rid of Celesteela, and I don't know if it's because of this particular battle.
I feel like he just
it's
a
not
little
doing it.
underwhelming.
Yeah.
He also didn't run. Did he run the automatized weakness policy kit at all? Because that's just a scary kit.
He did. He did week 1 and got 5 kills with it.
There you go.
I think.
As I said.
He was right.
As I said, if you can bait the weakness policy to go off in your favor, just bad things happen to your opponent.
Oh yeah, and I forgot. Heatran was a pain in Bick's side the entire game.
Yeah.
He just could
As
not
it
get
should
around
be.
Heatran.
Heatran is such a great, annoying mon.
Yeah. And it can do a lot of things too. Like it's not just you see later in the match that Thomas had Bloom Doom on it. He had the Z Solar Beam, which is a really sick coverage move to deal with mons, specifically like Seismitoad, who can just destroy Heatran.
Look at Necrozma eating the crit super effective Dark Pulse. I get it's non-stab, but just not giving a fuck.
Yeah, 34% is ugh. And if I'm Thomas, I might have wanted to autonomize or something because I'd want to be able to outspeed outspeed Lycanroc, basically Accelerock. He is just Accelerock incarnate.
You know what I learned in this game?
What's that?
Zora Arch Illusions comes back. I thought once you get rid of it, it's gone.
No, it comes back and it can take the form of different mons.
I did not know that.
That might have been changed.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's not different mons. It comes up as Celesteela both times.
Yeah, but like if Celesteela were to die, then Zoroark would have come back as like Seismitoad or something.
Interesting.
I think so, anyway. I have
It's
not.
a great way to get rid of that thing, by the way. Activate Sand Spit and just let it die.
Yeah, and Sandaconda constantly proving itself to be a really, really good sand setter. Just with Glare.
Thomas constantly
defensive.
proving that Mega Aerodactyl is bad.
Mega Aerodactyl is not bad. 150 attack with Tough Claws, or 155 attack with Tough Claws. Nothing to sneeze at.
Maybe Thomas is bad with it. I don't know. It's just not doing anything for him. It's just died every week.
Yeah, I mean, it's against a lot of mons with priority too. Does
That's
Cursula
true.
live this? He does. He Giga Drains, and the burn kills Lycanroc. Yeah, and Cursula and Heatran, this core, he just was not able to deal.
Oh.
He had no answers for any of it. And he plays chicken right here. He constantly switches between Seismitoad and Celesteela to either bait a Giga Drain, a Strength Sap, trying to get the right Pokemon in at the right time. And as soon as you realize that, I think that was the first time Strength Sap was used. As soon as that happens, I think I was like, okay, yeah, like, there's no way that Thomas loses this game. Yeah, he goes for the Bloom Doom.
3%. Amazing.
Ugh. I mean,
Okay,
he predicts Seismitoad to come in and unfortunately pop the Bloom Doom a little too early. But
just that para alone bone.
I don't think it
to him.
matters. Because you just keep hitting Flamethrower.
Yeah.
Hopefully get a burn, do some chip damage. Like, you have to go into Cursula, you take an Earth Power, yeah, duh. And it's just this for like a while.
It really is, though. The game's over at this point. It's just taking a little bit longer.
Yeah, and especially with Celesteela paralyzed, like, even if you do find some miracle, 25% of the time you're going to be paralyzed like that.
Like that.
You could go for another Leech Seed maybe and get a little bit chip damage on Heatran because Heatran has no ability to recover.
That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
If he was able to just chip down Heatran, and then he misses the Hydro Pump on top
Yeah.
of it. I don't think it would have made that much of a difference, but still.
Yeah, I mean, Cursula's special defense is like 130 or something like that. It's like a lot. Its defense is like 50, but its special defense is pretty thick.
Switching Heatran in on an attack like that when rocks are up is a really ballsy play, too.
Yeah. But
it worked out. Thomas won.
A nice +2 from Thomas. Bick was previously, he was 2-1, I believe. Now he's 2-2 as well. So, yeah, and that I believe does it for. Oh man, my mouse was in the middle of the screen that entire time, but that's okay. Yeah, so we made it through all the battles, and that means that we get to move on to trades and pickups. Oh, so exciting!
Ooh.
Right before the couple of bye weeks at the halfway part of the season. So this is where we're really getting down to the nitty gritty here. Trades and pickups. Oh boy, week 4. We've had only 2 people changing anything, but the people who are changing stuff have made a lot of 3 people. Oh, true. Yes, 3 people. Yes, one trade. We don't see those too often.
Trade. No, we all hate each other and don't trust each other enough to trade generally, and I love it.
But I'm glad to see that. It at least came at least one time. You know what I mean? Like,
it's normally like 1 or 2 trades in a season, a couple.
As long as it happens one time, it's nice. You don't get to use a pickup for it, so.
I will say the first 4 seasons there was not a single trade.
Yeah, I could believe that. I mean, it's kind of hard to, because you gotta pitch the trade, and then you have to have something you're willing to part with.
Yeah, it's not fun.
The stars have to align for a trade to happen, which I guess it did for, speaking of which, Murphy is trading Jolteon to Lebo for Lebo's Lucario.
Which is a Murphy Mon BT dubs. Not that I can hate on it for having all my Mike Mons, but Murphy loves him some Lucario.
And, I also love me some Lucario. I think that Lucario wasn't doing a lot on Lebo's team. I don't think he was able to really find a spot for it.
And I mean, Jolteon, Mario surprisingly hates on Jolteon, even though it's an EV evolution, he loves him. But I love Jolteon. Volt Absorb is such a great ability.
Yeah. I think I've always considered getting Jolteon. 130 the speed tier, 110 special attack. You have pivoting, you get...
And, Poliper, 4 times weak to electric.
Yeah.
Good thing I have Jolteon.
Yeah.
And Manectric, oh my god, his team. Stop it, Lebo.
Yeah, and from a little birdie himself told me, being Lebo, he told me that he was planning on making some large changes. So the first thing I thought when I saw the Jolteon to Lebo was, oh, Lebo has 2 fast electric types. So he told me he's going to make some big changes, so I don't know how long he's going to be hanging on to that Manectric now that he has Jolteon.
That's true, too.
Although...
Oh boy, those guaranteed thunders in the rain, though, boys. Get ready.
Yes, and I'm going to take a quick peek at Murphy's team. I do think that Lucario as his Z captain, I don't know if it rounds out his team, but it gives him some priority. That might be about it. He already has a fighting type of Mega Gallade. Give him the Steel type, which is always good, always appreciated.
Might just not have known who else to give it to, too. Because it looks like he just kept his Z captains as who they were. Like Talonflame was his one and Jolteon was his other.
Yeah, I mean, he might have just wanted to get rid of Jolteon and then would take anything. But I think the Lucario can probably do work for Murphy.
Well, it's not even just the Lucario, it's just the rest of the things he did. Like, he dropped, what, 4 months here? Dropping Shift Fry, Duraludon, Scyther, and Talonflame to pick up Electrode, Tentacruel, Alolan Executor, and Charizard. Those are some interesting plays. Being in his division, I'm interested to see what he does with those boys.
This is a wholesale, for sure.
I feel like Alolan Executor is a very Murphy-esque mon, too. I feel like he did some cheeky-ass plays with Harvest, or does he not get Harvest?
He does, I believe. The Harvest,
I feel like
Sub-Harvest, Dragon Hammer, Wood Hammer.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
that's
hammer.
Definitely interesting. Maybe he drafted Scyther for Z Tailwind that we saw, And he's like, well, that didn't work, so I don't want him anymore. Let's try
But
something else out.
he still left himself with one pickup though, so that's not bad. He's
Yeah.
still got one little thing he can change if he needs to later in the season.
Definitely. I do like the addition of him getting Tentacruel as a spinner. And that's just a pretty good water type all around. Because he didn't have a water type before, I believe. No, he had Suicune. He has Suicune still.
And it gets him the chance to spread around some toxic spikes if he wanted to as well.
Now you have the option of doing certain things like that. And Electrode also, I think that Electrode's really, really good for a 40. I mean, base 150 speed.
I can tell that Joe was involved in the making of that film.
Yeah. Joe's a big Electrode fan, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I don't blame him. You know, base
It's a
80
good boy.
special attack ain't a lot, but
You put the specs on him because he doesn't need the scarf or anything else.
yep. He goes to town. He gets screens too. The Magnet Rise plays are also kind of hilarious.
He could be a very good pickup here.
Yeah, I could see that. And secondly, or thirdly, Bickmouth, our man Bick, he has used the rest of his pickups, and he is changing his Z Captain to Lycanroc Dusk, and he's also dropping Celesteela for Skarmory.
Blech.
Which
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
You know, it's a situation. We see Murphy doing the same thing. You drop Talonflame, which is a Fire Flying type, for Charizard, that's a Fire Flying type, and we see Bick drop a Steel Flying type for another Steel Flying type.
Yeah, but like Celesteela and Skarmory are apples and oranges because I feel like they just fill two different roles. You could run a bulky Celesteela kit, but like Skarmory's there to most of the time set up some entry hazards, remove some entry hazards, or just generally be in the way.
Yep. And I think that, you know, as a defensive Pokemon, I think that's why Bick drafted Celesteela, but not having access to Roost, not being able to really put up any entry hazards of any sort, I think that's what he was looking for. And I think that because Skarmory can sort of fill that void, I think it's actually a pretty solid pickup. And doesn't that give him... Oh, no, that doesn't give him any points.
He is done. We are done here. He's 0 points, 0 pickups.
Yeah.
Somebody would have to trade with him.
That is it. That is Bick's final team for
He
the
is
rest
committed.
of the season. He's committing
Final
all
boss
of it.
pick.
Alrighty, and we'll see how it works out for him in the future. But
Oh, yeah.
alrighty, so let's move on to the King of the Kill. Speaking of Bick, speaking of all the work he puts in. King of the Kill.
Oh, think man tracking all of this. What a legend.
Yeah, that's kind of unbelievable. We have at the very top of the chart, Excadrill has now tied with our previous reigning champ, Inteleon.
Oh, yeah.
Which sort of makes sense. I mean, you look at all of these Mons in the top, 5, and you're like, oh, it makes sense. Excadrill, Inteleon, Zorora, Weavile,
Amoonguss? What?
This is just like week 1 where Jellicent was the top, and we were like, oh,
but
man.
I think Amoonguss made it there because it's funny, because Amoonguss is with Weavile at 4th with Hawlucha, Greninja, and Dracovish.
Yeah, definitely. And you expect Dracovish to get kills, you expect Greninja, you expect Hawlucha, you expect Weavile, but you don't expect Amoonguss.
Celesteela will never leave 9.
That's
And
true.
It's gone.
Well, as soon as other Mons pass him.
Yeah, never get higher, I should say.
Is Celesteela at 9? Oh, yeah, it is. Wow. Yeah, so that thing's going to just slowly descend the ranks of the King of the Kill, because now it's
so
not on a
close.
team.
No single Mon is going to run away with this, I don't think. Not yet, anyway. Maybe in the last half of the season, but like right now, it's still pretty close.
Although I'm glad that there's a little like discrepancy between the first and the third and fourth. Even if it's only by a kill, it's not like there's 4 Mons tied for 3 kills at the top of the chart.
I can agree with that.
But we're starting to see a lot of the front runners, because after 5, a lot of Mons have 4 kills. Even more have 3. Even more have 2. Even more have 1. So, assuming that these guys are brought most weeks, then this might be looking like, the finals. Not the finals, but like the future of the King of the Kill.
The future of the King of the Kill. I like it.
Absolutely. Kudos to Bick for always keeping track of this stuff, because.
Yes, we thank you and appreciate you.
And last but not least.
Well, not really. We got at least 2 things that I can think of.
What's the second thing?
We got the standings and we got the Conference Cup, homie.
Yeah, we can
This
do that.
week was huge for the Conference Cup. Conference Cup's quick though.
Sure.
Very quick.
Yep, in the Conference Cup, this week particularly, week 2, Heracross had 0 points. Week 4, Heracross has 12 points.
Heracross swept every single person in their Division 1, I think at least by +3. By an average of +3, because I know Manus won with a 3, and I know that, 3 times 4 is 12.
Yeah, it's definitely at least 3.
Wait, there's 5 people per division now, or is there 4? I can't remember.
There's 4. There's 5 divisions, and there's 4 people per division.
Yeah, so an average of 3 kills. So that's, damn, what a good sweep. But
Which
I mean,
is crazy.
The green division isn't that far behind at 9.
No, we're not.
And Scizor isn't that far behind that at 12. I don't think that we are. I think the Conference Cup is still able to be taken by anyone but Shuckle. I think Shuckle's fine.
Yeah, Shuckle's probably. Shuckle is fuck.
Pinsir would have to work really hard, and it's not looking good, but Shuckle is fine.
Some divisions end the Conference Cup with, 3. I think last season, I think our division ended with, 5 maybe. So having 12, 9, and 7, those are all pretty decent numbers. And there's still 3 more weeks left in it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's still pretty contentious.
Yeah, that breaks it out.
Heck yeah. And taking a look at the standings, it is the end of week 4. Mike, you're ahead.
Yeah.
You're top of your division.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Let's
right
go.
there. You're 3-1, +8. Jack and
Hanging
Bick
out.
in a very contentious Shuckle division, +9 and +7. Oh, Mario's also 2-2.
Yeah, that whole division, except for Mitch, is tied at +2. The only thing separating them all is plus.
Except for, and that'll change with Conference Cup things and whatever.
Yeah.
But
when
yeah,
they start playing each
only
other again.
being separated by plus, that is scary. Anybody could take that division at any point in time. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Kyle, 4-0 +10. Tristan, not super far behind, 3-1 +8. And then Manny getting his first win on the board. Thomas. Myself, top of the Mega Division, +13. And Drac and Dylan tied. Crazy. Both of them 2-2 +5.
Straight in the heat of battle right there, 2-2 +5.
For sure fighting for those wild cards. But we still have a whole half of the season to go. And lastly but not least, Pokefan and Lebo, both 3-1, +7 and +6 respectively in the Pinsir division.
This is a lot of these divisions are still real close. Nobody has run away with anything yet, really.
Nobody. You're right.
I mean,
nobody's running away with anything.
You're sitting pretty right now with a 2-game lead.
Yep.
You've got a nice comfortable lead, but
I've
Jack
got
and
a
Dylan
buffer.
are not people to sleep on.
Exactly. I have a buffer, but I can't afford to let up really because I know there'll be. Drax already breathing down my neck. You heard him in the interview. He's like, "I've got some stuff planned." I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I have nothing planned."
Oh yeah, Drax ready.
But yeah, that is the standings going into week 5, and into week 5, the schedule. Oh man,
The battle.
So we started keeping track. I'm excited too because we started keeping track of our picks, and
nice.
I believe at the end of this week, I have gotten 19 correct, and you've gotten 18 correct.
You are up by 1. I knew that.
I'm up by 1. But so now's the time. There's only 5 battles this
Only
week 5.
Short week.
So Mike, if you were to face down a Galarian Slowbro, do you think that you'd be able to pull it off?
As long as I don't get Quick Tread to hell, I don't think he wants that knockoff.
That is fair. And I will also give it to you. As long as, now that you know that Quick Draw is a thing, or you probably always knew, but now that you know that it can potentially just ruin people's day, I have no doubt that you'll be able to prep and
Yeah.
and win
Sorry,
that.
Bobby.
Sorry,
Look at me.
sorry, Bob. Murphy versus Dave. This is interesting.
It is.
This is interesting. I sort of have to think about this one.
I don't really know either. I think, you know what? Murphy changed a lot of things. I think he did it in preparation for this game. I'm picking Murphy.
I'm gonna pick Dave.
All right.
I'm gonna pick Dave. I think Murphy did make a lot of changes, but I have faith. I have faith in Dave. I think Dave's team is a little scarier. Besides Mega Gallade, because Mega Gallade's ugh. Mitch versus Jack.
Jack.
I'm gonna go with Jack.
Hands down.
Although week 4 we did pick, both of us picked Jack versus Rob, and we saw how that turned out.
Yeah, but this is Jack versus Mitch.
This is
It's all
true.
different things.
You're never gonna pick Mitch. I'm gonna go with Jack. I think Mitch is 0-4 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Mario versus Bick. Both of them, I believe, 2-2. Maybe Mario's 3-1 actually.
Bick is 2-2. Bick and Mario are tied 2-2. Bick is +7. Mario is +3. So this is a very pivotal game for them, for both of them.
Yeah, and Bick has no more room to change his team up. Although I do think that in the end, Bick will probably come out on top.
No, I'm gonna have to pick Mario here.
Pick Mario.
I hope that he puts in the effort to prove me right, because when Mario actually puts in effort, he wins games.
I can't wait for Mega Venusaur to eat a Fire Blast from Volcanion. I can't wait.
Just eat it.
And lastly, Manny versus Thomas. I'm going with Manny.
Ah, boy. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go with Thomas. Just
Thomas.
I think I might actually have to try and pick Thomas to win a game here.
I like I like when we have different picks, you know? It sort of adds a little more
keeps things
fuel to the
interesting.
fire. Definitely.
Keeps things interesting.
Alrighty. Well, that about does it for this week's episode of Inside the PFL. It is going to be week 5, starting on Monday. And, yeah, Mike, I have a question for you now.
Oh boy. I'm excited.
Is week 5 the most important week of the season?
Oh, easily. Half the league is sleeping. They're looking to make changes. The other half of the league is looking to get ahead and have a nice relaxing bye week for the next week.
Oh, man.
Easily the most important week of the season.
Oh, wow. You made a lot of really solid points there. I wasn't expecting.
I'm experienced why every week is the most important week of the season, okay?
It is. You know what's funny is that as I look at week 5, I see that all of the first names start with M. I see a Mike, Murphy, Mitch, Mario, Manny.
It's the week.
It's the week.
Things that make me go
Alrighty, we're gonna get on out of here. Thank
Enjoy
you all
your
for
week,
watching.
boys.
Yep. Everybody who is not playing, make sure to get in some rest, you know. Think about your position, think about the mons you want to draft and change and pick up. Except for you, Bick. You can't do any of that, so.
Bick's grounded.
Murphy, you have one left, I think.
Murphy does have one left. He saved one. It's like, this is for later.
Alrighty.
Save it for later.
See y'all next time.
See you, gentlemen.